Welcome to the Cabral Concept, where board-certified naturopath and integrative health practitioner Dr. Stephen Cabral shares how he was diagnosed at the age of 17 with a life-altering illness and given no hope for recovery. It was only after studying and traveling all over the world did he discover how to combine ancient Ayurvedic healing practices with state-of-the-art naturopathic and functional medicine to fully rebalance the body and re-energize it with life. It's time to discover how to get well, lose weight, and finally feel alive again. And now, here's your host, Dr. Stephen Cabral.
Welcome back, everyone. We're here today with a brand new show here on the Cabral Concept. These are our Total Wellness Tuesdays, where today's topic is going to be, can eating grilled or charred meat cause cancer? So I'm going to take you through two specific chemicals that are created when you cook meat at higher temperatures and what we can do to mitigate some of those effects. And also, is it quantity over quality? Can we have any of these foods? And what does it look like in the long run? So I want to take you this, I'm going to take you through all of this, but I'm going to link up specifically a lot of these studies as well. So head on over to stephencabral.com/2615 and let's get started. So one of these is actually from cancer.net that links up a bunch of scientific studies as well, such as the one from Environmental Health Perspectives, another from the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, another study published in Carcinogenesis. All right, so carcinogenesis is basically the study of cancer being created in the body. So what I'm going to do is just give you a little excerpt, and then we're going to break it down. And also, what can we do about this? Can we actually mitigate these issues? And I believe we can to a certain extent. So let's get started. So it starts off by saying that many people love their barbecue, right? They love to be able to go outside, grill some burgers, grill some hot dogs, grill chicken, grill fish, grill asparagus, whatever it might be. But we're really talking about meat here today and poultry and fish rather than any vegetables or starches. I'll touch on those towards the end of the show. And what happens is when these foods are grilled or even baked, anything at high temperatures where there's a little bit of char created on it, what happens is these two chemicals, and they're a little bit different, so I'm going to explain both, are created. So the first one is this, polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons, PAHs. Okay, I'll say it one more time. Polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons. That's PAHs, because I'll probably just refer to it as PAH after this. And then there's heterocyclic amines. Heterocyclic amines, and those are HCAs. Think of like histamine, and then those amines can be created. And it happens naturally when you cook meat at higher temperatures. So here's exactly what happens. When you grill meat, a lot of the fat hits the pan or it hits the bottom of the grill. And then what happens is the flame comes up or the smoke comes up. And then what that does is it contains the PAHs, right? The polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons. And those then are attached to the meat itself. So then you're consuming them from the smoke and the drippings and the flame that comes up because that contains the PAHs. Then what happens is, now they're coated in the PAHs, the food with its char begins to develop the heterocyclic amines at those high temperatures. It is the same thing and the same effect that we can get actually from exhaust fumes from a car. We can get them from tobacco smoke, as well as smoked foods. And that's why I try to tell people that a lot of these snacks that the carnivore people or even the keto people are recommending are smoked foods. And these are potentially cancer causing. The Mayo Clinic has actually said that they've been on the top 10 carcinogens list for now about 20 years. So it's something to be aware of. I do believe that we can mitigate this to a degree, and that's what I want to share with you right now. But before I do that, I just want to share with you, sometimes it's often confused. I know that I've used them interchangeably sometimes in the past, and they should not be, but the burning or the charring of starches and vegetables, like let's say it's French fries, or you make your own hash browns, or you do this with any type of starch-based food. If you overcook those, they can create what are called acrylamides. And the acrylamides are the vegetable-based version of the meat-based version. So there are two potential cancer-causing issues that both come from overcooking food. That's the bottom line. So my first tip that I want to give you is that although, I will say it myself, that a burger or a steak or something like that always tastes a little bit better with those char marks on it, right? That is when you're getting yourself in a little bit of trouble. And I'm going to be honest, maybe not you, but hash brown little potatoes taste better when they're a little bit burnt, when they're a little bit overcooked. Maybe it's just me, but what I want to share, those are the two worst instances for consuming 3 of the cancer-causing chemicals that happens by overcooking food. All right, so now how do we mitigate this to a degree, even with the acrylamides as well? Well, when we're talking about PAHs, we're talking about HCAs, et cetera, what we want to do is first either pre-cook the meat. You can do that, meaning like you can already bake it or cook it at a lower temperature. And then if you want, you can do a little sear at the end, but if you're gonna do the sear, what we need to do is marinate it in something with antioxidants. So I've said this before, and I'll say it again, and I'm also gonna link up the podcast here today. Olive oil is the most protective. I did a podcast maybe a year, maybe 2, maybe 3 years ago, showing, and it didn't make sense, I know, to me, to many, many people as well, because you're like, well, saturated fat is going to be better to cook it in because saturated fat has a higher smoke point. It's harder to break down the bonds, the natural bonds of a saturated fat, right? It's fully saturated bonds rather than mono unsaturated or poly, like many breaks in the bonds. But lo and behold, olive oil was a better oil for cooking. Now, do I think you should cook in oils? No, but again, that's neither here nor there. So olive oil, though, why was it the best? The reason it was the best is because of oleic acid, a very powerful and potent structure that acts as an antioxidant that helps to prevent some of these PAHs and HCAs. So what I've done for a while now is if I'm eating meat or making a steak or chicken or fish or anything like that, olive oil is part of the marinade. So you're gonna just let the meat tenderize in olive oil and then whatever herbs you would like to use as well. Why add some herbs like rosemary? That's one of my favorite. Or you could add oregano, or you could add whatever it is that you want, whatever your heart desires. So here's the thing, herbs act as antioxidants as well. So if you have olive oil and you have herbs in there, and that is making the outer base of the meat, now you're coating it and protecting it. The best way to think of it is like this. You have fair skin, you go out into the sun, you get the appropriate amount of sun for your body, and then you put on sunscreen. The sunscreen, it's not an antioxidant. Zinc is not a true antioxidant, but if you use zinc oxide, nanoparticle, you're now blocking it, right? So like the outer coating that you just put on your skin protects the inside because you're technically baking in the sun, right? So that is one way to look at it. So the goal then would be to marinate fish, chicken, red meat, whatever you're using for, people always ask how long, at least 30 minutes. That's what I would do, at least 30 minutes. Let it really coat the outside. But even if you didn't have the time, you can coat the outside with olive oil. You really can. It just won't seep in at all. That's all. And that's okay. You can use any herbs that you'd like. And then if you wanted to, so people say, well, how do you cook it? How do you cook it then if not? You can cook it at lower temperatures. Like that's the thing. You can put it on a grill still, but you're not going to get those sears on it, right? Like that's not what you're going for. If you needed to do that at the end, you could absolutely do a reverse sear, which is simply cooking at lower temperature, taking it off, heating back up the grill, and then you would do a sear on both sides if you chose to. Again, that's up to you. You might want to rub a little bit more olive oil on, just with a little brush, to be able to protect that outside again. So that's what I do. Honestly, I think that that's the best way to protect it. That, and you just don't do it all the time. So like maybe once a week that you go out and you have some of this grilled based food and you have a barbecue with friends and family or whatever it may be, but you don't want to be doing this on a nightly basis. You really don't. Even if you're using olive oil, I don't know that you're going to get the same total protection, right? Even doing that. So let's just be careful. Now, here's the thing as well, though. You can also help to balance the meal, which I tell people all the time. And that's why I don't think the carnivores are really doing it right, is because I'm not saying you can't eat meat, but there's a quantity basis to it. And then also, a lot of them are not eating enough vegetables. And the vegetables, or even fruit outside of the meal, is giving you the antioxidants that would be able to squelch a lot of these oxidative chemicals, such as the PAHs and the HCAs and even the acrylamides. So we have to be careful when we're trying to preach, one type of diet, one way of doing things, and just in general, not balance. And I always tell people, if you've given up on carbohydrates because of a blood sugar issue or a bloating issue or a joint pain issue, my recommendation is to look at the gut. What is going on with the gut that it's that imbalance that you are not able to eat any carbohydrates? So I wanted to share that with you here today. I'm going to also link up the study. It's published in the Journal of our Carcinogenesis. And this is thought to be, again, proven in animals, thought to be likely in humans as well. If it were me, I would not want to bet my life on it, because you are, by eating these types of foods on a daily basis. So hopefully these tips were helpful. Of course, if you have any other tips, you want to leave them below in the comments, feel free to do so. Always open to additional topics. So let me know what you'd like to hear about next in the Cabral concept by posting it right below the video. Thanks, everyone. Take care. Feel free to share the show with anyone that you believe it could serve. Take care. Have an amazing day. Are you ready to heal yourself and then go on to heal others? If so, the Integrative Health Practitioner Institute can help you discover proven functional medicine protocols that blend the best of 7 different healing disciplines from around the world. I personally share with you the exact handouts and protocols I use in my private practice that enable people to get well, lose the weight, and live longer, stronger. I want to pass this information on to the next generation of health coaches, and that is exactly why I created IHP. We are the future of the health coaching industry, and the skills and knowledge you will learn will make you an in-demand certified health coach anywhere in the world. Although we have many medical professionals taking the IHP certifications, no experience is necessary, and half our members have no previous health certifications. At the Integrative Health Practitioner Institute, our motto is a health coach in every home. Our goal is that you take this knowledge and then share it with family, friends, loved ones, your community, or in a practice where you create a career you love and can be proud of. The global IHP community is filled with some of the most kind and caring people in the world, and we can't wait to welcome you into our world soon. For more information or to set up a discovery call with one of our IHP Health Coach graduates, simply head over to integrativehealthpractitioner.org.